how's it going, guys? This is Colin with Worthy Brand Consulting, and today, hopefully, I can add a ton of value to you. I actually was creating a training yesterday for my wife's photography clients. They're awesome people, and one of the things I was teaching them was about Google search ads. So, if you're currently in business, you may have tried running Google search ads before. They're awesome; they work extremely well, but from what I've seen, a lot of people can have issues with it, right? There's a lot of different kind of pitfalls you could fall into. So what I want to do just real quick is give you something that is actionable that could, I believe, legitimately help you. No strings attached. There is no cost. There is no price. I just want to truly add value to you. Now, I did promise these guys I wouldn't show this training, the full training anywhere. So I can only give you a little snippet. But I think this will help you. So one of the things I always talk about with marketing and advertising is the secret sauce, right? Behind having effective advertising is testing. And if I have the book here, I'll show it to you. I might not. It's called Scientific Advertising by Claude Hopkins. And the book's like over 100 years old. It's amazing. Essentially, the guys and gals that are the top 1% of marketers, media buyers in the nation, a lot of them, a significant portion of them, give a lot of credit to the book called Scientific Advertising. So number one, I'd recommend you get that book. But one of the things Claude Hopkins talks about in that book is how testing is critical, right? And so really that's the secret sauce. If you're getting started in advertising, if you're working with an ad agency, just understand that testing is the game you're playing, right? You'll start with a hypothesis. You might think, a certain audience that you're targeting is going to crush it, that your ad is perfect for that audience. And if you only launch a campaign with one audience, maybe it does well, maybe it doesn't. And typically what will happen is I've seen a lot of folks, they'll create a campaign, whether it's like a Google search campaign or a Facebook campaign, and they target one audience and they use typically one ad. And if the ad flops, if the campaign flops, they have no clue if it was just a bad campaign or if, more than likely, it was only because they targeted, one group of people. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Hopefully you're hanging in there with me. This is hopefully actionable for you. So here's my suggestion when it comes to Google search ads, and understand that this is a principle that you can apply to any other platform, right? So if you just take a look at my screen, the first thing I'm going to show you is how to launch a Google search campaign. Now, I'm not going to show you the ins and outs of, showing you my dashboard and actually clicking all the buttons for you. Showing you where to click. Perhaps I'll do another video on that. The main thing I want to show you is once you launch your Google search campaign, I would implore you for your actual first campaign, I would test as many possible keywords as you can, okay? As long as they're relevant to the thing you're trying to sell. So if you're a real estate agent, I would test all the keywords that are related to homes in fill in the blank, homes in Dallas, homes in Chicago, homes in Los Angeles, right? And I would add as many keywords as possible to that ad set. Now, if you don't know what ad set means, it just means like your targeting parameters, right? Your keyword, the keywords you're willing to bid on. So when you first launch a campaign, I would stuff as many possible keywords in there as possible. Why? Because you really don't know what keywords are going to be your biggest producers, right? So you have to test. So that's my first piece of advice when you're launching a Google ad campaign. Your first go around, if it were me, I would personally test as many possible keywords as I can, as long as they're related. Okay. If you have different offers and for your business, I would maybe create a separate campaign for each offer, but keep the same principle, right? Right here, stack as many keywords as you can as possible. Now, the trick is you got to give it enough time. Okay. You have to give it enough time. If you launch a new campaign and give it 3 days, the campaign may not even be able to hit all of the different keywords. So if it were me, I'd personally give it 2 weeks to run. You have to give it time in order to figure out what keywords work best, right? And again, apply this principle to any other ad network, ad platform out there, right? Start off by doing a whole lot of testing, whether it's Facebook or LinkedIn ads or any other social media platform there is, direct mail, cold calling different lists. Test a whole bunch of different stuff out in regard to your targeting, right? And let it run for 2 weeks, okay? So give it time. Now, what do you do after? So there's a term that I believe Perry Marshall, he wrote the book, the original book on Google advertising. Perry Marshall's a great dude, great guy. He's kind of like an OG when it comes to the marketing game. So he has a term, it's called peel and stick. So after 2 weeks, let's say you launch your campaign, you're testing a whole bunch of different stuff, right? This could be on Facebook, could be on Google. Again, this is a presentation I created for my wife's clients. But so obviously this is a Google presentation, but apply this method anywhere else. Launch a Facebook ad campaign with 15 different audiences, let it run for 2 weeks, and then come back and see, hey, of the 15 audiences, you may have 5 that are crushing it and the other 10 are not working well. So then you move into, once you identify the keywords, so let's say, again, using Google search, you let it run, you have 10 keywords that are running in one campaign. You come back 2 weeks later and you're like, okay, of the 10 audiences, of the 10 keywords, 3 of them are producing like crazy, right? So that's what you'll do. So you'll move into the next step, which is identify what keywords are working well, right? The old secret of test and find out what's working, right? That's the secret, okay? Now, there are some principles, obviously, to creating a good ad, making sure your offer is right and all that. I'm just going to assume those are already understood. But really, again, the secret is testing. You got to test a whole lot of stuff and see what sticks, right? All right, so peel and stick, no pun intended, right? So after you identify, let's say you launch 10 keywords, or in this case 6, and 3 of them are crushing it, what are you going to do? Well, in the words of Perry Marshall, you're going to peel the ones that are working. So you're going to peel them out of the original campaign and stick them in a brand new campaign all by themselves. So you're optimizing, right? You're saying, hey, keyword number 2 is crushing it. I'm going to take it out of the original campaign. I'm going to make a brand new campaign with just that keyword, and I'm going to spend X amount of money only on that keyword. So you could start to scale up. And the reason you could do that is because you tested a whole bunch of stuff and you figured out the ones that worked, right? Which is great. So now you're only putting your dollar bills toward keywords, or in the case of Facebook or LinkedIn or direct mail, you're only putting your money toward audiences that you've found to respond really well, okay? Testing, okay? And you're just going to follow this for the whatever other keyword you have, and then whatever audience you have, right? So this is the test, create a campaign to test. Again, it could be Facebook, Google search, YouTube ads, whatever. Find out what audiences work, find out what keywords work, okay? And then peel out the ones that are the absolute winners and create brand new campaigns with them and start scaling those, start testing additional ads on those, right? So anyway, that's it for this video. Like I said, I did promise that crew that I made this presentation for that I wouldn't share the whole thing anywhere else. So I'm going to cut it here. But I just wanted to add some value to you. And I hope that this idea, again, maybe you've run, again, Google search ads in the past and they flopped, or Facebook ads in the past and they flopped. My theory is not that your business model doesn't work. My theory is that you may not have tested enough stuff. So anyway, that's my 2 cents for the day. Take it or leave it. Hey, I hopefully you implement it, you test it, and you get some good results, because I know you will. If you test enough stuff, you'll start to figure out what works, okay? Whether it's your offer, your audience, your ads that you're testing, test and test a whole lot more, okay? So anyway, hope you have a great day. I hope this helped you out, and I'll see you in the next video.